Hi, and welcome to the Virgin River Cafe Rewatch Podcast. Good morning, Gigi.
Good morning, Tracy. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Getting ready for fall.
Yes, getting ready for fall. Today, we're going to do a bonus episode. It's our first bonus episode. I don't know if there'll be more, but at least there's one, right? So Today's episode is basically going to unpack how we ended season 6 and the myriad of possibilities because of the myriad of cliffhangers. Usually, each season, each show will have a small little cliffhanger, and then each season usually has a doozy. Maybe 2, but this season, oh my gosh.
There was a lot of doozies.
There was a lot going on. So before we get started, what are you drinking today?
Well, today I'm going to have some iced tea. Well, my green tea lemonade.
Oh,
which is
I
one
love
of my
that.
favorite drinks.
So yummy.
I love it. I can make it from home. I don't need to buy it. I know the routine. And because I have lemons, I can definitely go all the way.
Oh, nice. That's refreshing.
It is.
Considering the weather's been very weird, it's still hot. It's fall, but it's not feeling like fall just yet. You look around in the stores and everything, and the calendar says it's fall, but temperature's not agreeing. I love the iced tea. Me, I'm just going to go with my basic iced coffee. I have my instant that I found that I'm really enjoying. Still really enjoying it. And this time I got some sugar-free caramel. Put a little bit of caramel in the cup. Dress it up a little bit with my flavor. Made a little cold foam.
It's a shame I can't have that, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
My body
you could use real caramel. You could use real caramel.
Oh, I know.
But it's tasty, so I've made my own with a little bit of caramel on top. Yummy.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. So today we're going to go through all the things that we are anticipating to be figured out, explained, dealt with, hashed out, or understood going into season 7. Because season 6, yes, it was very focused on the wedding, and we did wrap up a lot of things. Like, we know that Preacher's not going to go to jail. He still has probably 300 hours of community service. He probably still has 250 left. Yep. Not a hardship, since the person he's doing his community service with is his girlfriend.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think the judge knew that going in, or he probably, because community service is not supposed to be enjoyable, but whatever.
Hey, if you don't ask, we don't tell.
Right? So he's like, yes, sir, let me work under my girlfriend in whatever way is possible for my community service.
Exactly.
Whatever you need to do. He is on board. So we've wrapped that up. Jack and Brady, it seems like they've buried the hatchet because Brady is trying to do better. He's working as a volunteer fireman.
And it looks like he's working on becoming a fireman because he's taking these exams that he was practicing with. So that may be something in his future besides opening up his own shop.
Right. So he's got the shop, which we'll see how that pans out. And he's got as a volunteer fireman and getting ready to be tested so that he could be a fireman. We'll see how that works out. We've kind of wrapped up Kaya didn't want to get married, but now her and Preacher are just going to take the relationship as it comes. They're not going to put any labels or put any expectations on it. They're just going to let things work out as they work out.
See how things go.
Lizzie and Denny are very close to the end of the pregnancy. I did read that toward the end of the filming of season 7, casting was looking for a half Caucasian, half Asian baby under 3 months old. So we can assume that the baby will be born in season 7, probably at the end. If we can assume that that's the case, because that was toward the very end of filming, and the season 7 picks up a few hours after season 6 ended, then the whole season may only last a month, because I believe that Lizzie was about 8 months pregnant going into the wedding. So that means the whole season is a month. I mean, these timelines are maddening, but that's where we are. It's the Virgin River Twilight Zone universe. That's where we live. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's just go through everybody, and we're going to see where we're at. So we've got Muriel. Let's start with Muriel. Muriel has been diagnosed with breast cancer. She has a new boyfriend, and she's going to fight it. So my guess is that we're going to have the Sewing Circle ladies and her new boyfriend and Doc and Mel, of course, and Jack supporting her through treatment. Yeah. And we will probably see how that all works out. And like I said, the season may only last a month and a half in Virgin River time. So we may not see much of that. We may see a treatment or two, or her navigating which direction she wants to go in, because I remember one of the episodes, middle of the season, it's like she didn't know if it was going to be just treatment or if it was a mastectomy. Like, we don't know. We won't know. There are a lot of options. The story could go in a lot of different directions. And then we talked about Brady. Now, Brady.
This can of worms being opened in more ways than one.
Brady's got a lot of avenues he's got to work out. So we've got his job, and we've got his taking the test for being a fireman, and Lark leased him a place so that he could have his own shop.
First of all, his love life sucks at this point.
100%.
Okay, his love life sucks, which means that he is not focused on the things he's supposed to be focused on.
No.
And you know how Brady doesn't do well when he's under pressure.
Yeah. He's impulsive and he's a hothead. So this is not going to bode well for him. He will probably miss the test. My guess is he's going to miss the test because something's going to happen and it's going to pull him away from it, or he wouldn't have studied. Whatever the situation is, I'm going to predict that he probably misses the test. And because how we ended the season, Lark took all his money. Now, there was talk like, how did that happen? Okay, well, we saw him log into his phone. Right. Now, whether she saw him log into his phone, I don't know. But if his security code, his password for getting into his phone is the same as his bank account, then that's probably how she got in. Because remember, Lark said, oh, well, Hazel's got your phone and she's playing Candy Crush. And so she went to go talk to Hazel, and then he found his phone on the table, which means she did whatever she did and left the phone behind.
And it's probably that the phone wasn't locked if Hazel was still playing Candy Crush.
Right.
It's the fact that she took the phone from Hazel and then made the assumption that may have been the same code to get into his bank account.
That's the only way I could see it happening.
There's that dilemma. Now, my question is, and you and I now debunk this situation or figure it out, is does she go back to Jimmy or does she just run?
You know what? I think she was done with Jimmy. I really felt that she did fall for him. And got her heart broken because of what he said to Bree. And I think she just took the money and ran. It's like, screw all of you.
Right.
Like, I'm going to take care of my kid and screw the both of you.
I think he's going to first go to her mother's.
Yeah.
To figure out where she is.
Right. Because he knows the guy who knows her mother, so he can track her down.
Right. So he may go to her mother's first. The question is, will he get his money back? That's the first thing.
If he can find her, there's a good chance he can get some of his money back.
Right. Now, here's the other twist in this whole thing. Does he bring Mike into it to help him?
I think he will.
You know, I don't know, because Mike is a detective.
Yeah, but see, okay, so here's the dilemma. He doesn't know that Mike knows that him and Bree hooked up. If he finds out that Mike knows, he's not going to ask him. He's going to stay as far away from Mike as possible.
But the point about it is right now, he's in panic mode.
Right.
So he's not going to know that information until much later on.
Right.
At the present moment, they're both in the same place.
Right.
Okay?
So he might initially ask him for help, not knowing that all this is hush-hush. And Mike's not going to say anything because that's just, Mike's a good guy.
That's who Mike is.
He still wants to be with Bree, even though... So... Yeah, I think he may ask for help or ask Jack, and then Jack would say, let's get Mike, because that's what Jack would do, because Jack always goes to the best source for the information, you know?
Right.
That would make sense. He doesn't have a lot of people on his side, so, I mean, he really only has Mike and Jack and Preacher. And even him and Preacher, not always the best. They're probably the worst relationship. I mean, he's still close with him, but of the three guys, I feel like he would go to Jack first, and then Jack would say, we need to talk to Mike. I feel like that would happen. So Brady's got to deal with Lark. And if he finds her and if she didn't spend the money, how is he going to get it back? We don't know. Right. That's if he can track her down. Now, remember, he might go to Preacher because Preacher's got a guy. Remember when
That's
Christopher
true.
went
Yeah.
missing and they were looking for Mel's dad? Preacher's got a guy who is a private investigator, and he can help track her down. So I feel like it would be like they would all work together to try and track her down. Because regardless, everybody knows that Brady has been trying to do the right thing, except for sleeping with Bree. He has been doing very well.
Yes, he has.
And everybody sees that. They see him really working hard, and I think that they would band behind him and help him.
Yeah. And that's the motto of small towns like this.
Right.
You may have your squabbles, but when you're down, everybody chimes in.
Right.
Everybody pulls their load. So, yeah.
So I feel like that they would work together to try and help him. So then we go to Mike and Bree. Now, he proposed, and he proposed very impulsively. And I feel like he knows that they slept together, and it was like, if I don't propose to her, she might go back to him, so I gotta strike while the iron's hot, and if I don't nail her down, I'm gonna lose her forever. I believe that he really, truly loves her. But but
the man's been in love with her for a long time.
Yeah, long time. Yeah. I just think it's like Brady loves her too, but it's just a different kind of love. And she loves them both, but in a different way.
Yep.
Totally different. But I feel like she's in love with both of them. And it's not that kind of show where they can all be together. That's just not, that'd be on a different network. That'd be a different show. Yeah. We're not going to do that. Yeah. So she's going to have to choose. It's a Virgin River. She's going to have to choose. And Mel suggested she ditch them both. And maybe she needs to step back from both of them to figure out what she wants.
I think that's what was being suggested, is that she needs to let them both go. She needs to take some time to think for herself.
Yeah.
And focus on herself and decide what she wants to do.
Brady's got his hands full. So he's going to be a little preoccupied for a minute while he's figuring out, because he's got no money and he's a volunteer. It's not like he has a job right now.
Right. She's got to be able to set them both free and figure
focus
out
on herself.
Exactly. Because at this point, she doesn't know whether she's coming or going. Yeah. Where these two men are concerned.
And her feelings are so discombobulated right now.
So all over the place.
Yeah. And she loves them for totally different reasons. I mean,
exactly. And even we as observers of watching it can see the conflict that she has.
Oh, yeah.
We're invested in these relationships. And no matter whoever she chooses, somebody's going to get hurt.
Right. And there's a team Mike, and there's a team Brady, and there's even a team Bree,
Exactly.
And it's pretty split. It's pretty split.
I think so, too. Because to be honest with you, my feelings are very split. Because as much as I like Mike is a great guy.
The chemistry.
The chemistry. And I know people go, oh, you're going with the bad boy. It's not that.
No.
It's the fact that
it's hot.
It's hot. But Brady and her literally can light a house on fire.
Yeah.
It's that hot.
And she's got chemistry with Mike, but it's a very different chemistry.
It's a very different chemistry. And I think why I tend to side more with Brady to some degree is that Brady was with her in some really tough, uncomfortable times in her life.
So
you know what I mean?
So, it's the funny thing is, it's the same situation. Brady was there in the beginning when she was going through it, and Mike was there after. So it's like they're on equal playing field when it comes to that.
Well, I think the thing is, that may be true, but I think Brady was there for the tougher times.
Yeah. And Mike didn't react real well after the fact. He tried to not patronize her, but he was coddling her a little too much after the fact, and she didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Whereas Brady didn't.
Yeah, Brady wanted her to deal with it.
Wow.
Anyway.
So we don't know. That's going to be interesting. We're going to be dealing with the triangle of all triangles. I mean, it's, what a tough job, Zibby, You got Ben on one side and Marco on the other. It's a tough life. It's tough, It's tough going to work, girlfriend. Have yourself a cute husband. I mean, she's got men all over the place.
I know.
Good for you, Zibby. Good for you.
And she's such a tiny little thing.
I know. Love her. She's hilarious.
Love her. It's going to be interesting. But as I said, somebody's going to get hurt. And at this point, I don't know if season 7 will deal with the fact she will have to choose.
I would think they're going to have to dive into it pretty quick. Once.
Oh no, I'm not saying that's not it. I'm saying do they prolong it to the point
I see. Are they going to drag it out and make us like go back and forth for the whole season?
Exactly.
Who even knows? I mean, if the whole season is only going to last a month or two, it's possible.
Right, because I mean, we dealt with the Charmaine thing for God alone knows how long.
5 seasons, four seasons.
So it would not surprise me if they stretch this out for a season or two, depending on how it goes.
True.
So that's why I'm saying I don't know if they're going to let it last. Let us know how she decides in one season, or do they drag it into the next season or not?
Right.
Because they've already been approved for the next season.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Exactly. So do we let it drag out and drive us, the viewers, flipping crazy?
Probably. And who knows if like Mike, throws himself into it, or if he needs to take a moment and that just drives her toward Brady, or who even, we won't know. I mean, oh my, it'll be fun to watch. Let me tell you, it'll be fun to watch.
It will.
So next we have Hope and Doc. Now, Doc's got multiple problems. One is his medical license. Because of the procedure he did on that guy, because he saved his life, because he drilled into his head, but he saved his life. And even the neurosurgeon said, good job, but the hospital is fighting him on it, and they're trying to take his license. Now, this may be part of the whole thing where Grace Valley is trying to open a clinic, and they want to take over his clinic. And they want to turn it corporate. Basically, what they're trying to do is turn it corporate. They don't want the small town, you do your own thing and blah, blah, blah. They want to turn it into a conglomerate like everything else. And he's going to fight them. Right.
And I have a feeling what's going to happen here is the town is not going to go willingly, if you see my point.
Absolutely.
Because they're used to having small, intimate, having a doctor that has known their family.
They have no reason to change. Don't fix what's not broken.
Right. And also the fact is that Doc has seen probably 2-3 generations of families.
He has probably delivered every person in town that's not older than him.
Exactly. Because of how tight-knit this, and don't underestimate the power of hope.
Right? I love the fact that when they called to explain to her what was going on, and they're so excited to share the news, they didn't even realize, this is how out of tune they are. They didn't even realize that she's married to the doctor.
Right. The thing is, as that was pointed out when Doc had Hope to herself, is that when Hope loves people, she is all in.
She loves them fiercely, and she will fight with everything she's got.
So the fact that they have gone after this woman's man.
Look out. She will stand by her man.
They have no idea what fire they have lit under this woman, because she is going to go totally, when she gets the rest of this town involved in this, the Grace Valley board has no idea what they've started, because nothing is worse than Hope and those ladies.
Hope on a mission. Look out. Absolutely.
They have no idea what they're in for. So I think that's
it's going to be a fight. Thing. It's going to be a fight.
It's definitely going to be a fight. There's no, and I think the interesting thing, I think one of the reasons why they've decided to do this, and maybe I'm stretching, is because they added that extra building that now they have a birthing center. Because before, it was just a little thing, a little doctor's office. Nobody knew they were there, and that's it. But now they have Mel, who is a board-certified midwife who comes from a big city. They've built this birthing center.
You know they want a hold of that. They want to get their hands on that.
Exactly. And because they've probably heard great things about this birthing center, this is why they are doing this.
They want to take over.
They want to take over because all of a sudden, Doc's been there from time immemorial.
Yeah, 30 years.
All of a sudden, this birthing center is now the cat's meow. And there they go, people are going to this.
and they're not going to Grace Valley. That's the thing. They're pulling probably people away from them.
Exactly. And so that's what I was thinking is why they all of a sudden have decided to do this, because there is a much more intimate situation going on here at Virgin River. Mothers feel much more comfortable.
Right.
And moms, it's the word of mouth when mothers start to talk. I mean, that's how my profession is.
Exactly.
With it. So I think Grace Valley is starting to figure out, and now they feel they have ammunition to use against him.
Well, they just waited for an opportunity, and unfortunately, an opportunity presented itself to give them the out they needed to try and get Doc booted.
That's exactly right. So I think because of that, because before he was just a hole in the wall, and they had no interest in that.
He's a country doctor. It's like, oh, good. You take care of all the people there. We won't worry about him. Town of 600. No big deal. You deal with it.
Exactly. And when there's an emergency,
once in a while, we got to call an ambulance or a helicopter.
Exactly. And they were perfectly fine. But I think this birthing center is what started to rile.
It could be. That makes a lot of sense.
Lit a fire under that.
Yeah.
Now it's all of a sudden, it's not this little broke down back mountain business anymore.
Yeah.
It's a health facility.
Yeah.
They didn't like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
That's my observation.
Well, yeah, no, I totally agree. That makes a ton of sense. So next we have Charmaine. Now, Charmaine she was doing fine. Then she was fighting with Calvin, who was being inappropriate and trying to, come into her place of business and make trouble. And she filed for sole custody, which was granted, of the twins. And she seemed to be struggling. And the ladies came in and helped out. Mel and Jack babysat for her. And they could tell, she was having some trouble. But then she didn't show up for the wedding, for the hair and makeup. And she never showed up as a guest at the wedding. And nobody's heard from her. And when Jack showed up to check on her, because Mel was insisting, I go or you go, so he went, and she's gone. Or she's there and unconscious. Or she's dead. Or we don't know. It's a big... it doesn't look good.
Also thought of the thing. Answer me this question. The guy who plays Calvin.
Yes.
Do we know if he's been signed on for a next season?
Okay, so I did look that up. He is not going to be... The original Calvin is not coming back.
I know the original
But he
Calvin,
is in the cast for season 7, which makes sense because they have to finish this storyline, or they have to deal with this storyline.
Okay, because the reason why I say that is because I don't know if he's the one on the floor. If he's the one who's... Because the thing about it...
I didn't even think of that. You're right. It could be him.
I'm thinking she may have shot his you-know-what, because she may have felt threatened. Because this is the thing about moms.
I didn't even go there. That's so smart of you.
Because the thing is, Charmaine knows she's dealing with a sick bastard.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that Charmaine bought a gun to protect herself. I have a feeling that Calvin's you-know-what is on the ground.
Maybe.
That thing, she just fled. She picked up her twins and she probably fled to go see her aunt and uncle who live up in Oregon.
Yeah. She has aunt and uncle in Oregon.
Something like that, because I think she panicked.
That's there's many possibilities. I didn't even think of that one. That's a really good possibility. So it could be Calvin's on the ground, shot or dead. Charmaine could be on the ground because he knocked her out or killed her and took the babies.
Exactly.
Or it's the room is a mess and there's nobody there and we don't know where anybody is. Yeah. And obviously there was a struggle. Yeah. There was a struggle.
I just have a feeling it's somebody on the ground. It's either Charmaine or it's Calvin.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it may be Calvin.
And whoever's not there took the babies.
Exactly. Somebody took the babies. But anyway, because I'm thinking
it could be.
You don't mess with a mama bear and her twins. I'm just thinking.
No, I get that.
Because at this point, Charmaine is not only overtired, she feels threatened. He's not following the law as far as he has to keep his distance. He's threatening Jack and Mel. I just think Charmaine has had it with him. And she is just like, I need to protect my boys. And
no, I get it. I get it.
I think that's why I think it's him on the ground.
And you know what?
So
that's definitely a good possibility for sure.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen who's listening to this, you add your 2 cents and let us know what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't know. We're just theorizing. We're just spitballing.
Yeah.
You know? So Jack, of course, he's going to be worried. Not only because even though him and Charmaine have been long done and over with, he still cares for her as a person because he is a good human being. And so whatever's going on, he will jump, and Mel and him will handle whatever they need to handle. They will figure it out. Yeah, we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Wow. So his first phone call is going to be to Mike. Mike's going to be getting Mike's got a lot to do lately. He's got all kinds of things he's got to deal with. Thank goodness he got his new job and he's now the lead detective or whatever. He got a new promotion. Because
yes.
Virgin River has turned into like a big crime place nowadays.
Exactly. He's got his hands filled.
And then finally, we have Mel and Marley. And Marley shows up and she wants her baby to go to Mel and Jack. But wait a minute. Now, I don't know that I believe Marley. I feel like this couple was so invested, just like Mel said.
Exactly. So invested.
Like almost overly invested. I guess they didn't give us enough context to know if what Marley is saying is true. Like maybe this is just too much stress for the husband. The unknown is just too much and he can't handle it. And it seems like the wife was sort of following his lead. So
that's a possibility.
I don't know. And maybe Marley just sees Mel, sees Jack, and feels like, oh, they're a much better fit. Like, I prefer, like, I'm changing my mind, giving them, and this is how I'm going to say that they don't want the baby anymore. But honestly, if that's the case, she changed her mind and now just wants Mel and Jack to have the baby, Mel's going to find that out.
Right, because there are legal ramifications to that.
Exactly.
So I don't know if she wants to deal with that. That's why I don't think she's exaggerating. I think something happened.
Maybe something happened.
The husband felt overwhelmed and just figured he wasn't quite ready for this as he thought he was.
Could be.
And that's it.
Or because something happened and maybe Marley is feeling uncomfortable now and doesn't feel that these people are going to be what she wanted for her baby.
That's also true. Yeah.
It's in the same respect. Mel and Jack might wind up with a baby.
Well, as we know from the books, isn't one of her kids an adopted kid?
No.
In the book, all her kids
So
hers.
In the books, and for people that haven't read the books, they're very different from the show. I always say it's inspired by, it's not written like they change characters, they change names, they change situations, but it's inspired by. It's the best way to put it. In the books, Mel gets pregnant. She does have fertility issues. She did, have problems. But in the book, the first time Mel and Jack get together, she gets pregnant. She doesn't know she's pregnant for like a really long time. And then she winds up pregnant and they get stuck in a storm and Jack has to deliver the baby.
Right.
Now,
I remember.
Personally, I think that would be freaking hilarious if that played out somewhere. That if Mel is able to get pregnant and having gone through everything she goes through, it would just be like, of course she can't get to the hospital in time. And of course Jack she has to walk him through delivering their first child. It would just be, of course. Like, she can't have any, it's like, can't we have nice things? No, we can't. No. So I feel like that would be amazing if they used that and played that out. Now, in the books, she actually had 2 kids. She was able to get pregnant again. Again, didn't know she was pregnant. Jack's the one that tells her. Because when you think you can't have kids, I've lived it, you don't know you're pregnant. You don't think you can get pregnant, so why would you think you would be pregnant? And then I found out on my own, but in her case, Jack's the one that says, honey, I think we need to take a test. I think you're pregnant. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I really think you are. You're changing. Your body's changing. No, that can't be right. Well, she was.
Yes, well, for you was that with your second one, remember?
Yes.
And I had to tell you, go.
I'm like, I think, and you're like, go get a test. So,
go get a test.
But
because the symptoms were just too eerie from the first one. So, but yeah, but
so she wound up getting pregnant again, and it was, the baby was born fine, but then Mel wasn't fine, and she wound up having to have a hysterectomy, and I think they were trying to adopt a third baby, and that's when Marley and this couple comes to Mel and it's like, we're signing up with an adoption agency. We're looking for a child. This woman comes to town, Marley. She wants to, give her baby up. Mel wants this baby so bad because she really wanted to have a third child. And now that, and it was just killing her that she had a hysterectomy. Like, she didn't feel like a woman anymore. And she was very depressed and all of that. And then she finally came to the conclusion that this couple, this Darla and her husband, had been trying to have children for years and years, and it just never happened for them. And they just decided they're just going to be childless. And they were going to be okay with that because they didn't have an option. And she wound up connecting Marley with this couple. So these characters are in the books, but she connected them and they wound up adopting the baby. So they're taking that storyline and they're just putting a different spin on it and moving the timeline of when Mel and Jack have kids to this is like a possibility for their first child. Now, as in a lot of things, Mel may wind up, because she's not worried about it anymore. When you're focused on one thing, other things happen. She may wind up getting pregnant, again, not knowing she's pregnant. Boom, guess what? Oh my gosh, we're adopting a baby and we're having a baby at the same time. Or what if, remember when Charmaine went to the courthouse to get sole custody of the twins? What if she put a clause in custody that if something happens to her, she never wants Calvin to get the kids? Maybe she's bequeathed the children to Mel and Jack, knowing that Jack's a good guy and Jack would make sure that her children were taken care of. I mean, Mel and Jack would wind up with going from 0 to 4 kids pretty quick.
Just like how Jack at one time
went from 3 to nothing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's hard to believe that this situation with Marley is cut and dry as she says it. There's definitely a lot more to it. Like, I don't know if she's having second thoughts, she's getting cold feet with this couple, or if they really did change their minds and they don't want to adopt the baby anymore. They feel it's just too much, too overwhelming, whatever. And now she's got to find a new home, and she already knows that Mel and Jack would be perfect, and maybe, we don't know. But that's one of the 74 cliffhangers for this episode and for this season. I mean, that's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's going to be many, many things. I mean, I think that first episode is going to be a lot. I mean, wow.
I have a feeling you're right.
Because we've got to finish the conversation with Marley and Mel of what do you mean you want me to have the babies and they don't want to be adoptive parents anymore? And is Bree going to say yes to Mike? What's happening there? And what is Brady going to do? Is he going to call somebody and get some help to where's his money? Because now he has nothing.
Yeah.
And Doc and Hope are they have to fight for the clinic. Thank God that their health, they dealt with all of their health issues, her traumatic brain injury, his macular degeneration. We've resolved those issues. So those will not be carried on into the future. So fortunately, medically, they're doing great. So we can, they can focus on the issues at hand. We didn't even talk about Everett. I mean, Everett is Mel's dad now. So they seem closer. How will that relationship develop over time? I think now that him and Doc have buried the hatchet, fortunately, it was not in each other's heads. Thank goodness. They have moved on and everyone can accept Everett and maybe he'll start joining the community more. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Would you kind of see Muriel and Everett?
Yeah.
No.
I
was thinking that.
No? No, because Muriel needs someone who is much more active.
I don't know. I feel like
Everett is just he's like
we'll see.
He's like a slog.
I don't know.
A slog. he's nice, but no, he's not. He's not my Marion's type.
Well,
I don't think
we will see, because in his younger days he was like what Miriam would have liked. So
yeah, but the thing about it is, he has been a hermit for 40-something years.
Well, we'll see.
That doesn't you don't come out of that just because.
I don't know.
Because I think you're doing there.
I'm shipping them. I'm putting them together. I kind of think that might work.
I like her with who she's with now.
Walt
I think
Walt seems like a nice guy, but I don't know.
I like Walt. He knows how to dance and shake his groove with her.
Know.
So
we'll see.
I like her there.
We'll see.
But we can agree to disagree. That's okay. All right. But
let's see. So we've got what else? And then Lizzie and Denny are going to have the baby. The Sewing Circle ladies. I mean, there's not really much going on. I wonder if something will happen with Ricky. I wonder if he'll be back. Because in the books, he got injured and came home with part of his leg missing. I wonder if his character is done, or because he got deployed. Remember, he went to boot camp, came home, and then Jack took him and he got deployed. If he gets injured and comes home, then that could be interesting.
But then they will have to reintroduce a new character in their synopsis, because Lizzie is already taken.
Doesn't matter.
So they may, if they do that, then we have another young person
and they may bring more people on. I mean, they just kept adding. They've added a few extra people that were never in the books. So I mean, it's very common to the universe can expand. But
yes,
there's a lot. That was a very cliffhanger heavy season. There was so much happening.
They left us definitely asking a lot of questions. Who, when, and why?
Yeah. Now, there is supposed to be a honeymoon for Mel and Jack. They did film in Mexico for a week. So there is going to be a honeymoon sometime through the season. I'm guessing toward the end. Because they probably got to deal with a lot of things first. And then when they feel like things have calmed down, then they'll go and they'll have their honeymoon. So we'll see how that works out. That'll be nice.
Well, that would be nice for them to have a honeymoon.
Finally, can they have a moment? Good Lord.
Get away from the drama.
Only vacation they ever had was, I think, like one night away from Virgin River at like some hotel in the morning that they found out that they were pregnant and the baby was his and it was a girl. Unfortunately, they lost it, but that was like their only like away. So they need a moment. They've had a lot happening.
Well, it's been a busy couple of months for them.
Well, for us, it's been a busy couple of years. For them, it's been several busy months. So, but that'll be nice. That'll be nice. So the anticipation of season 7, it's the longest running drama on Netflix. Good for them. They've got that title. And season 8 was announced very early. Usually they don't announce this early, but they did. So that's awesome. And it wasn't the last and final. It was just season 8. The fingers are crossed that there's at least 10 seasons. So I guess we'll see.
That would be nice. It would be that way they can wrap everything up quite nice and neat.
Gives them time to tell the stories they want to tell and wrap things up the way that they want to. So I'm hoping that when it does have to come to an end, we would love it to just go on like Grey's Anatomy for 20-something seasons. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean,
yes, but Netflix doesn't do that.
Netflix is not known for longevity. I mean, generally it was like 3 to 4 years. So the fact that they're going on 7 is crazy.
Exactly.
But I think times are changing and they're feeling that more is better, I think. I mean, unless you're intended to do 3 seasons, like here we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I get it. That makes sense. This is not that kind of show.
Yeah. And I think part of it, too, is that they realize that good TV is so hard to come by.
Right.
Oh, so hard to come by. The fact that there's something like Virgin River with such rich characters and secondary rich characters, and it makes me want to sit and watch TV. It's a pleasant surprise because I, like you, grew up in the time when we had great TV.
Yeah.
We're talking Dallas.
We're
talking
the 80s and 90s were.
Oh my God! Whatever your qualm is about 90210, fine. But you're talking about storylines where people actually wrote great stories.
Yeah.
And I miss that because I grew up with that. Who shot JR? The entire world was asking that question, not just us in America. Cousins living in Europe will go, who were saying, what do you think? Who do you think shot him? And it's like it was worldwide.
Yeah.
So we haven't had something like that. A series like MASH, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved MASH. Yeah.
Great iconic
really
writing.
Good TV with good writing and rich characters with backstories. Exactly. It's hard to find. It really is.
It's really hard to find. And the fact that this is like a sleeper in the midst of all the crap that's on television is such a breath of fresh air.
It really is.
And as I said, people will disagree with me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Not a problem.
It's fine. You are entitled to yours as well as I'm entitled to mine. But if you're not old enough to remember what good TV was, then you have no idea what you're missing. And maybe you can rent some and see what good TV writing was back in the day. Because if you get a hold of a great dynasty,
right?
Alexa Carrington?
Yeah.
Oh my God. A woman you love to hate.
Yeah.
Not anything against Shonda Rhimes makes great television.
Yeah.
She's one of the few writers that does really good TV. And I will give her that. You know, I am a scandal. It's like my, right?
I know.
But
one of your favorites.
One of my favorites. But we haven't had anything like this on, I would say, regular TV. You know what I mean?
It's like every few years there's a show that stands out like that.
Right. And I mean,
this is one of those shows that stands out.
And you know what's sad about this is that if you don't have cable, you wouldn't know about this.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? You would not know about this.
If you don't buy Netflix, you don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it. And I know people who don't have Netflix. So when I say, "Oh, do you know about Virgin River?" They're like, "What?" And I said, "Do you have Netflix?" And they're like, "No, we don't have Netflix." Yeah. So it's like a great source of shows. And I'm not just talking about Virgin River. They have other great shows on Netflix too. Is that there's a whole list of people who have never seen some of these amazing set of writing, is had to allocate itself to cable because of whatever reason, because regular network TV didn't accept it, or they didn't think it was for them, or whatever.
And I think over time, I think like in the last bunch of years, I think that people's tastes have changed and people are much more, I don't want to say pickier, but I think that the audience expects more. Like, they definitely expect better writing, better acting. They want good, rich storylines. And I feel like that it makes the writers and the directors, it really puts them to the test. It's like, it makes them work really hard to give everything they've got and put the best together.
I agree. I totally agree. Because nobody wants to watch garbage TV. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch,
some people, sometimes you just like mindless nothing. But certain shows will last forever, no matter how many years have gone by since they've ended. And there are some shows that some people have never seen, and some that you can name a song, a word, a line, and people know exactly who said it, what episode.
Amen.
It just stands out. And that's just a testament to good writing, good acting, good directing. Yeah. It's like a recipe, and if you've got the right recipe, you've got it. And Virgin River just happens to be one of those shows.
Yeah, it's got rich characters, good writing.
Amazing scenery. We have to always say the scenery.
Yeah, and I think that works well for them. So anyway.
All right, well, now we just wait. We wait for season 7, and we will be back to go through season 7 once it's out. And we've watched it a few times. Because we have to really understand it, so we're going to have to watch it more than once. Come on now. As we enjoy it the next season.
Yes.
Until then, Ladies and gentlemen, now we may or may not pop in with a bonus episode now and again. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's coming in the future. I do have something I'd like to do, but I don't know if it's possible. So if that is, then I'll announce. But other than that, we'll just kind of be we'll put a pin in it. We'll pause from now until we're ready to bring you season 7 when it's time. So,
okay,
all right.
folks.
Well, thank you again, Gigi, for doing this crazy idea with me. And
no problem, Trace.
And thanks to everyone who continues to listened from the beginning. Maybe you listened to a couple of episodes. Maybe you're here for all of it. Thank you. Even if you only listened to one episode, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
So thank you so much. And until next time, bye-bye.
Right, au revoir.